Good morning. And thank you all for coming out here this morning. It is good to see all of you that are out here that have been leading our community in various ways on the front lines of a number of issues as we stand here in downtown Atlanta to talk about a subject we all know all too well about the unhoused, those experiencing homelessness. We're gathered here today with a number of members of my cabinet, from Chief Sherbaum to COO Burks to Courtney English to Chief Smith of the Fire and Rescue Department and a number of others. Our Parks and Rec leader, Greg Clay, everybody. Georgia State President Brian Blake being here, Eloisa from Invest Atlanta, Dancy from Corrections, APS Superintendent, school board members, lots of folks in the audience as I look around. Rich McKay, of course, with the Atlanta Falcons, and Kathy Waller of ACP, and a number of other, and our homeless outreach providers that are here, members of Courtney's team that are here that do a lot of work in the affordable housing space. David Cummings, that has a large amount of land that he owns in South Downtown. Chris Womack and the Southern Company and all those individuals of Georgia Power that are here. Thank you all for being here and being partners as we go forward. Of course, to Katie and those at Metro Atlanta Chamber as well. We're here today to talk about something that we all see and many of us have been touched by. It is the sight of our fellow residents, sometimes sleeping under bridges or huddled on our sidewalks, or just camped out after hours in parks such as this. In a thriving city like Atlanta, the sight of our unhoused neighbors trying to find safe harbor is a painful reminder that we will have still much more to do to ensure the safety, the dignity, and well-being of every single resident in our city. Today, we are asking the Atlanta City Council, being led in part by Jason Winston, to support our efforts to tackle one of our city's most pressing concerns with a historic commitment to address homelessness. We have asked the council to authorize $60 million in new public funding, starting with a $50 million homeless opportunity bond. This bond would be paired with an additional $10 million from the Atlanta's Affordable Housing Trust Fund. This would be the single largest investment in homelessness in Atlanta's history. But we also hope to supplement this with the support from our philanthropic resources that are here. All told, this new public and private investment to support the homeless are expected to be about $120 million when all added together. The federal government estimates that the United States experienced double-digit increases in homelessness between 2022 and 2023 across the U.S. Here in Atlanta, Partners for Home, with Catherine standing next to me, which coordinates Atlanta's continuum of care, found that the city's unsheltered population grew by more than 60% since the pandemic. While my administration has partnered with a number of organizations working to ease the burden on our unhoused residents, this is something that the city must take the lead on. This is not just about offering someone a roof for just 1 or 2 nights. It's about creating a pathway and building a foundation for a better life. We have an ambitious goal. We expect to produce up to 700 new units of high quality, deeply affordable housing. This would include up to 200 permanent supportive housing units in newly built or renovated apartment buildings throughout the city of Atlanta. It would also include 500 quick delivery housing units delivered by the end of 2025. These units will be paired with on-site wraparound services through my Rapid Housing Initiative. This is a continuation of what we started last year with The Melody, our successful pilot project where we were able to rapidly rehouse 40 previously homeless residents. And I can recall telling you guys then at the time when we were doing the opening of The Melody that this was just the beginning and we would definitely be back with more. And just as it was with The Melody, we won't be doing this work alone. We are counting on our civic and philanthropic partners in this group project called Atlanta. There are currently 2 upcoming projects already in the works. The Waterworks Rapid Housing Project is located near the corner of Northside Drive and 17th Street and is expected to break ground first out of these pair, with the state-of-the-art modular construction coming soon. Waterworks will consist of 2 multi-story buildings totaling about 100 units. These units will serve our residents who are currently experiencing homelessness. We expect to break ground on this project this fall, with units expected to be delivered next year. Then we have the 405 Cooper Rapid Housing Project, which is located in Mechanicsville. The conceptual design incorporates a mixed income approach with approximately 70 for-sale townhomes alongside 100 units of permanent supportive housing using the same modular construction as the Waterworks site. So this is what we have started. We have a kickstart of that to do our rapid housing efforts. We are here right now in Woodruff Park under this beautiful statue of a woman holding a phoenix to symbolize Atlanta's history after a fire, to come back as a phoenix rising from the flame. Because part of our initial focus will be on downtown Atlanta, where the challenges can often be most visible. To be clear though, we are not ignoring other parts of our city where residents are struggling to find stable housing. I believe that the lack of affordable housing has reached a crisis level, not just here in Atlanta, but across cities all across the United States of America. And in every part of our region, there's not a single council district that doesn't have unhoused residents, and there's not a single county in Metro Atlanta that does not have unhoused residents. So while we're making these substantial investments here in the city of Atlanta and working downtown, be sure to remind everyone in this region, every county, every city, that this work belongs to them as well. Can I get an applause for that? Everywhere. If we build 200, they need to build 220 or 200. Remember that. So we must act with urgency to rehouse our homeless, to stop the displacement of low-income renters, and to provide our legacy residents from being priced out of their own homes. When I leave here today, I'll be joining folks from the Metro Atlanta Chamber in a larger discussion of how the civic, philanthropic, and business communities can collaboratively address our downtown challenges. I'll be speaking with Rich McKay real soon about that. The Chamber has been working this year on a downtown reimagined project, and part of that involves developing a better understanding of the needs of downtown's unhoused population. Members of the Chamber understand that Atlanta is a group project where we all are stakeholders vested in the successful outcomes of all of our residents. We're not wasting any time in launching any other efforts, but working directly on this right now. Frank Fernandez is here with the Community Foundation, and he's with us today to announce the first major commitment to this cause. I continue to be grateful for the partnership of the philanthropic community to address the most pressing needs in our city. But before we hear from Frank, I would like to turn it over to Council Member Jason Winston. Jason is leading this effort on the Atlanta City Council, and he represents District 1. Let's give Jason a round of applause as he comes up.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Good morning, everyone. I'm Jason Winston, as the mayor just said, council member for District 1 and chair of our Community Development Human Services Committee. A lot of time our mayor jokes, but I just want to thank him for utilizing his weather department today, because we have some very good weather today as we celebrate this. I'll be brief, but I just want everyone to know that the character of our city can be seen in how we treat our most vulnerable residents. After the COVID pandemic, our city, like many others across the nation, faced an unprecedented growth in our unhoused community. From the heart of downtown to the many neighborhoods that make up the fabric of our city, Atlantans have witnessed this growth firsthand, underscoring our need to stand up and do more. As an Atlantan, I take pride in knowing that our mayor is prioritizing handling this issue with compassion. Mayor Dickens has worked diligently to center the unhoused population at every step in this dialogue. I am proud to support this new investment from this administration and our city council to provide unhoused Atlantans with the resources they need to get back on their feet. Together, we can and we will build a stronger Atlanta. Thank you, Mayor Dickens.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Frank Fernandez, and I am the President and CEO of the Community Foundation for Greater Atlanta. And I'm excited to be here at this event because as we hear, we are focused on something that is essential to our community, the ability to be housed. And as you heard, housing not only provides shelter, a place to call home, but it also is foundational to what kind of life any of us can have, right? It shapes where our kids go to school, what kind of jobs we have access to, whether we feel safe walking down the street. At the Community Foundation, we are committed and focused to addressing the full spectrum of housing, of affordable housing that is needed in our community, from first-time home buyers to folks who want to pay less than half their income to rent, to who we're focused on today, folks who struggle with homelessness, especially those who struggle over a long period of time. And this is important not only because of all those things, but it's also important because of what it says about us as a community. I was walking over here and I was seeing folks sleeping on the street. And as someone who has experienced housing instability in his own life, I can tell you almost no one chooses to be homeless. And to me, this commitment that we have from our mayor says something about who we are as a city. Right? It is wonderful that we have all this development, that we're this large, robust metro and city, but it also is important that we are a city that is embracing and supporting the human dignity of everyone who's a member of it, especially those who struggle with homelessness. And for that, I am very excited to be announcing that we are making a commitment of $10 million to Partners for Home as part of this effort. We see this support as a great complement to public dollars, as a great complement to the leadership that our mayor has shown, and we want to do more. And I'm going to turn it over to Catherine, who told me just double the number, and we'll see what we can do. But there's $10 million. Catherine.
Thanks, Frank. I heard a commitment for that, didn't y'all? Okay, thank you. Good morning. My name is Catherine Vassell. I'm the CEO at Partners for Home. Partners for Home is the lead agency for the Atlanta Homeless Continuum of Care, where our goal is to create and execute a strategy to reduce and end homelessness in our city. And alongside all of our service providers, from shelter providers to street outreach workers to transitional housing providers to soup kitchens to permanent housing providers and every type of homeless service provider you could imagine in between, we are working. We are working to create a coordinated crisis response ecosystem that has the tools and resources to rehouse our fellow Atlantan neighbors. In the last 6 years alone, we have rehoused almost 13,000 households who were experiencing homelessness. And stimulus funds gave us a proof point that with the right level of investment, our community of providers can rehouse more people faster. In 21, we rehoused almost 2,600 households alone. And last year, almost 2,500 households, 800 of whom came directly from the streets, under bridges, and on the streets of the city of Atlanta. We are working. And yet, despite this work, we also had unprecedented numbers of new people experiencing homelessness last year and increasing numbers of first-time homeless people coming into our system. This is a crisis in our community. And until we get a hold of our affordable housing crisis, we will continue to have new people coming into our homeless system. And so this is not a one-and-done issue. We have to continue to invest with the right level of resources at the right pace and scale to exit people out of homelessness as quickly as humanly possible. This means we need to rehouse more people, and we need to rehouse people faster. We must move like we have not moved before. And our system must be fueled to respond to the emergency that homelessness is. Which is why we need an unprecedented investment to sustain and scale rehousing for our unhoused neighbors. And that is exactly what today's announcement is. Mayor Dickens and your administration, we thank you for leading the way for walking the walk and meeting this moment with a courageous, ambitious, and audacious commitment. This is unprecedented. This is truly historic. And without this investment, we would be crippled and hamstrung to rehouse our neighbors who are most in need and truly most vulnerable. I've been a social worker for 30 years, and I promised I would never work for the government. But in that 30 years of literally being on my knees, begging and pleading for continued resources and continued investment to house and support our most vulnerable, I have never seen an administration like this one. An administration that is moving at the speed of light to unlock and dismantle every barrier in our way. And Mayor, that is because of your leadership and your tenaciousness, and we are really, truly grateful. I want to thank the private sector for stepping up to the plate in this moment. Thank you, Frank Fernandez, and the donors to the Go ATL Fund at the Community Foundation who are making this first gift possible. And yet, this team project has only just begun. There are many of you in the audience today that can partner with us. We need the rest of the team to join us. We need our county and our state partners to join us. We need our behavioral health partners to join us. We need the private, philanthropic, and corporate sector to join us in order to make this a true success. While the city is building new units, we need these private, philanthropic, flexible dollars that enable our system to move nimbly, to continue to scale the rehousing work that was done, only made possible through stimulus investments. So our goal is to raise another $43 million in private funds. And we look forward to you joining us in this effort to ensure that every Atlanta neighbor has a safe, stable place to call home. Thank you.
We can clap a little bit louder for that for more fundraising. Give us it up. Yeah, good morning, everybody. My name is Courtney English. I'm the Chief Policy Officer for the City of Atlanta and Senior Advisor to Atlanta Mayor Andre Dickens. I wanted to really, first and foremost, take a few seconds to say thank you to a few folks, in addition to all the folks that the Mayor has acknowledged. If you're a part of the Mayor's Housing Strike Force, please raise your hand, wave, stand up, let everybody see you. We got a whole bunch of folks part of that strike force. Essentially every government or quasi-government agency, anybody who owns dirt in the city, who has a big heart, sits at the same table, and we're coordinating efforts to create more affordable housing here in the city of Atlanta. If you're a part of our downtown revitalization effort, raise your hand and let everybody see you. Chamber, Rich, Katie, Dr. Blake, that's you, Dr. Blake. And all y'all, yes. Yes, ma'am. Let it be known. If you are with the City of Atlanta, anybody from APD, our planning department, ATL, DOT, Invest Atlanta, Atlanta Housing, APD, I think I already said, raise your hand. Public Works, raise your hand. Let everybody see you. Yes. The reason that's important is because, as the mayor would always say, is that Atlanta is a group project. This great unfinished group project requires everybody to do their fair share, everybody to lean in, everybody to show up, everybody to roll up their sleeves and do the hard work of completing the great unfinished group project that is the City of Atlanta. I want to give a special shout out to the Atlanta Public School System. Our new superintendent, Dr. Brian Johnson, is here. Raise your hand, sir. I don't know, he's all the way in the back. He's a modest guy looking at his phone. Our board chair is here, I think. Board Chair Mitchell, Board Member Zeff, Board Member Briscoe Brown, Board Member Ishay Collins. Who am I missing? Board Member Jessica Johnson is here. All the APS folks, raise your hand. Yeah. See, they showed up in a big way. They serve on the Mayor's Affordable Housing Strike Force too. And later today, they're going to make a big commitment towards helping us achieve our affordable housing goals. And we're excited about that effort. Not only that, part of one of the deals that the mayor mentioned, the Cooper Street deal, that we will use to create almost 250 units of housing. 100 of them will be supportive housing units, was a deal that was facilitated in part because of the Atlanta public school system via a land swap. So APS is in on the group project. So if I haven't called your name, right, if I haven't shouted you out, that means you got a little more work to do in the group project. Don't be that person that shows up at the end of the semester smiling and grinning when it's time for the class presentation and you hadn't done anything on the group project, right? Don't let it be you. Look, I'm a former teacher, and last year the mayor wrote an op-ed. When we launched this work or accelerated this work, and that op-ed told the story of one of our neighbors, a man who sat down under a bridge at a fire who was looking for a meal. That fire that was supposed to help keep him fed and keep him warm ended up taking his life. That happened in our city on all of our watch. And simply put, we are better than that, Atlanta. So as we approach another winter, I want us to reflect on that man's memory because we have an awesome test in front of us. You see, when I was in the classroom teaching 7th grade social studies, I often told my kids that a test was nothing more than an opportunity to demonstrate what you already know. That a test was simply more an opportunity to look adversity in the face because we are made stronger by adversity. And perhaps more importantly, an opportunity, a test is nothing more than an opportunity to prove to the world that you are who you say you are. And so as we approach another winter and we reflect on that man's memory, what an awesome test, what an awesome opportunity we have before us, Atlanta, to prove yet again that we are who we say we are. Thank y'all. God bless.
Thank you for that, Courtney. I will take some questions, but before I do, I did want to make sure I acknowledge anybody that, thank you, Courtney, for acknowledging everybody that this is a group project, and there's so many people here that are putting in on this group project. At 2 Peach Street, this building that we just bought that's right behind you, which is 41 stories that we are converting from office to residential. That in there is Donnell Woodson and his team. The Housing Help Center is on the Donnell, raise your hand, is on the first level of that. Yeah, thank you, Donnell, for your team and what you do. People come into that building on the first floor sometimes with all of their belongings, and they're like, I need a house, I need an apartment, I need rent help. And every day they just field those calls. And Greg Clay in his office on the first floor of City Hall has the same activity set. So we are not without people that are in need of help. They come through this door or through those doors at City Hall, and they may also come through your doors at your businesses asking for help. So we want to be able to, with this investment, be able to provide that help, and we need your help to provide that help. So reach deep, philanthropic community, civic community, reach deep to find additional means to support us. Thank you, Frank, for stepping up with the Community Foundation. Businesses can chip in, nonprofits can chip in, anybody can chip in on this group project. As you can see, as we're standing down here right in downtown Atlanta, I have friends that are looking for some help. People all across every spectrum of Atlanta. And so I look forward to partnering with all of you in this work, as we already have over the past 2.5 years. We've done some amazing things together. We can't rest or grow weary in well-doing, as my pastor Sean Smith here would say. Don't grow weary in well-doing. You just got to do some more well-doing. And so we're going to keep on keeping on. So with that, I'll take any questions. Sean? Well, no. Well, that's a great idea, actually, Sean. When I said kickstart, I was just saying we're going to kickstart something, but we can crowdfund. That's a great way to get everybody in the group project. All right, I got that, Sean. Yeah, I like that. I'm gonna take that idea back. That's not a bad idea to have everybody chip in. What'd you say? Yeah. Once these cameras go away, I'm gonna start saying I said that we need to kickstart. I'll give you credit after the first time, but not after that is mine. You want to break down the 60 million, or you want? Okay.
The budget for the capital side is about $150,000 per unit for 500 units. In addition, for additional continued pipeline, we're going to be investing about $40,000 per unit. And then on the private side, dollars will go to support rapid rehousing at $25,000 per household. That supports street outreach, rehousing, and supportive services. And we can send you a detailed budget of them, sources and uses. 500.
Yeah, this is, and Catherine, you can give the specific details on this, but, we've done Lift 1.0 and 2.0, and so this together with the $60 million from the city plus now $10 million, so we're at 70 plus some more here and there, we're talking about getting close to $120 million. So that's 10x. Some of the previous investments we've made. So, right, we're about, somewhere over 10 times as much. So this is a lot bigger than we've done in the past. Yes, sir. I'm sorry. You said Melody. What did you say? Yes, some will be modular, not exactly shipping containers, but modular in construction so they can go up quicker. So similar to the Melody, maybe a little bit bigger. You want to talk about the modules that we have?
We're looking at a mix of different types of development. So as the mayor said, the Waterworks site will be a modular construction, 3 stories with 100 units compared to the Melody, which is only 40 units using containers. We are also looking at traditional acquisition. We have a contract under a 24-unit turnkey property right now. So we're looking at diverse ways in which we can acquire and bring online 500 units as quickly as possible. Every site will be a little bit different.
Yeah. And by the way, the drawing is over here. You can see some of the drawings and understand, for the work. Yes. Good. Thank you for your commitment and the things that you and your church community have already been doing. These are the type facilities that we want to partner with. So people that are experiencing homelessness, some may have mental challenges. We found in a recent survey, it was about 40%. About 40% of the individuals that I guess this was from last year's point in time, were experiencing some sort of mental health. Others are victims of domestic violence, as we talked about here. As we are cracking down on domestic violence in this city, we have victims that find themselves unhoused. We also have individuals with substance abuse, as you mentioned. So the wraparound services need all of the above, because when you meet one individual that's experiencing housing challenges, you only met one person, and that person may have a multitude of challenges, or they may have one acute challenge. And so we need support, need to partner with individuals like yourself. I don't know if we're already partnering with Trinity, but we're looking forward to partnering with as many people as possible to be able to help with that. The wraparound services is critical because we do want people to either be able to be to grow out of this need for this supportive housing. We want individuals to be able to return back to their families, or for them to go on and have productive lives with a job, because we try to partner this also with workforce development too. We have career centers and help that provide people opportunities to be able to get into an apartment that they might be able to pay for themselves. Did you want to answer anything on that? Okay. Any other questions? Yes. Yeah, we have Tommy here from Department of Community Affairs. He and Commissioner Chris Nunn have been very instrumental in helping us with low-income housing tax credits and tax incentives that come from the state. It's a very rich, supportive structure that we need for for housing development. So they're at the table. When we talk about support that we need from the county and the state, they're doing their part at DCA. What we also need is more on the mental health side. The county is responsible for health and human services, health being your physical health as well as your mental health and behavioral health. We need counties, not just a county, Fulton, DeKalb, Cobb, Gwinnett, Clayton, if I didn't name your county, all of the above counties, all need to chip in on the mental health support that can then help us reduce homelessness and individuals that's battling a number of challenges. So we need the county to step up in the mental health space, in the physical health space, as well as the human services aspect of the wraparound services that we just talked about. Those things can and should be provided by the county and the state. So anything that we can encourage our state leaders and our county leaders to do in terms of more funding for mental health support, more funding for rehabilitation services, those things can go a long way in helping us with that. Right now, we're going to be using $60 million of city funds plus $10 million of philanthropic money and other money to be able to do this work. Imagine how much further we could go if we had county and state support. Because what we find is while everybody that is experiencing homelessness they are residents of our city. When you're here, you're a resident of Atlanta and you're now my responsibility. But you may not have been here a year ago. You may have, last warm bed you laid in might have been in another county, and now you've migrated to Atlanta. When we built the Melody, I had good church folks tell me, hey, I'm in McDonough, Georgia, and Mayor, I got 2 people that sleep behind my church. I'm bringing them to the Melody tomorrow. Like, don't do that. Do not. We got 40 beds and we got 2,000 people downtown, in Metro Atlanta experiencing homelessness. Don't just drop off folks at the Melody from, not to pick on McDonough, it could be any other city, right? That's not how this works. I would hope that they would use their church parking lot to build housing, build a Melody on your church parking lot. Go to McDonough Town Square or Henry County or Cobb County or somewhere and build housing in your community to support the individuals that have more month than money in your community. That's what we're doing here in Atlanta. And so I'm standing flat-footed telling everybody in the whole state to solve problems in your zip codes where the people are residing. All right, everybody. Thank you all. Let's get to going on this group project. Thank you.